Hey guys, how are you? Mr. Lanz here. Today is Thursday, May 28th, and we're going to start talking a little bit about pollution and the four types of pollution. And as I told you in the review, there are four types of pollution. Those are water pollution. All right. Then, of course, we have the infamous soil pollution. And we don't want to forget about the air pollution. And then there's this new one that we call indoor air pollution. And today we're going to talk a little bit about what each of them is, what pollution is in general, and then give examples of each of them. All right. So the first thing you need to know about pollution is what is it? And really, the easiest way to talk about pollution and to describe it is contamination. Contamination. Okay. And it's contamination of the water, of the soil, of the air, or of the indoor air. It's contamination of the environment, your surroundings. And what is it contaminated by? Well, anything that doesn't belong there. Something that is bad for it. All right? So it's contamination of the environment, of the water, of the soil, of the air, of the indoor air. And it's contaminated by pollutants. Things that are bad for it, things that are going to break it down, things that are going to kill it. And so I first want to talk about the four different types of pollution. So we'll start off with water pollution. Okay, and the water pollution, as it says in your notes, and your notes are obviously attached for you guys, is when pollutants enter the water systems by drifting into the water or being washed out out of the sky by the rain. So it could happen in a few ways. All right, the pollutants can drift by itself into the water. It could be washed out by the water, by the rain as well. Okay, and examples of this are wastewater by factories. A lot of times factories will just dump dump their sewage, dump their waste right into the water supplies, and that is a direct correlation to water pollution. Once again, sewage, wastewater, sewage, kind of the same thing. Sewage, however, when you get nasty, wastewater could be from anything, but sewage is this nasty stuff right there. All right, that's what sewage really is. All right, and then there's, of course, there's litter. All right, so a lot of times you walk and you just you throw something, a piece of trash, a soda can, whatever it may be, onto the side of the road. Well, eventually that will get washed up into a water system, and then of course there's a lot of people that just dump. They just dump all their trash right into lakes and rivers and oceans. And I want to let you guys know that in Voorhees we're very, very fortunate. These are the types of things don't happen on a regular basis, and when they do happen, we look at those people like, what the heck are you doing? But in other parts of the country, this is a real problem. Real problem, and even different parts of New Jersey as well. So the next is acid rain. Okay, when acid rain falls, sometimes it falls into water or bodies of water like lakes or streams or ponds, whatever it may be, and acid rain can kill the aquatic life that's living there. All right, next is a runoff of fertilizers and pesticides. All right, so a lot of times farmers or your parents or whoever it may be may put like either bug killers or fertilizers on their soil. Well, if they are not natural fertilizers and not natural pesticides, eventually the rainwater is going to hit those fertilizers and hit those pesticides. It's going to wash off the grass, wash off the crops, wash off the trees, and end up into the water system. And last but not least is algae blooms, and that is really because of the fertilizers. All right, so a lot of times when fertilizers run off into a pond or a stream, it creates the buildup of algae. Now, algae is normally a good thing. It's algae in small doses is very good. It's a live organism. However, algae, because it's a live organism, it needs oxygen. And so what happens is if the algae just gets crazy out of control, then it eats up all the oxygen in the water system. And if a pond or a river runs out of oxygen or is light on the oxygen, things will not grow. Things like fish won't live there. All right, and finally, we have oil spills, and a lot of times we do hear of oil spills, from big cargo ships and things of that nature. All right, so let's move on to soil pollution. All right, now soil pollution is, either one of two things. Soil can be lost. Okay, so this soil could be either lost or damaged, or pollutants can enter into the ground. All right, so there's two things. Either one, the soil is destroyed, or two, pollutants and poisons are put into the soil, which kills the things that are growing there. All right, examples: plowing. All right, when something is plowed, when it although it helps farmers, it does destroy the soil, the natural soil that's growing there. All right, digging or mining for fossil fuels, really digging or mining for anything. All right, when you're digging up the land and you're digging up for fossil fuels or uranium or whatever it may be, you're putting huge holes in the earth. Imagine if someone was digging at in your body. Well, those little holes that you just dig and dig and dig and dig are eventually going to hurt you. Same thing happens for the earth. Landfills. All right, landfills are just like huge. I mean, imagine if you had a huge, huge, huge swimming pool. Okay, and that's where you dumped all your trash that you used every single day. Well, that's what a landfill is. It is a huge hole. They're dug in the ground, and when the trash man comes to your house every Monday or Thursday or whatever it is, and he picks up your trash, well, guess where it goes? It eventually goes into a landfill, and they dump it there, and that's where they keep it forever and ever. All right, and then erosion by wind or by water. That just means that either the water or the wind, they pick up the soil and they bring it somewhere else. Damages the soil. It is considered soil pollution. Last two. The first one, acid rain. All right, not only does it fall in the water system, but it also falls into the soil or the ground. If it falls in the soil or the ground, it can damage the soil and the things that grow there. And last but not least, cutting down trees and other vegetation. Every time you chop down a tree, every time you chop down some vegetation, you are creating soil pollution because it disturbs the environment and the soil that it once lived in. All right, let's talk about air pollution now. Okay, we'll do air pollution. And air pollution is when pollutants or contaminants go into the air. It could be soot, it could be ash, it could be smoke, it could be carbon dioxide or other harmful greenful gases. And that's when any of those things get into the air and the ozone, the atmosphere that surrounds us. All right. So examples: volcanoes, forest fires. Guys, these are natural pollutants, which is kind of weird. I bet you've probably never thought that there could be natural pollutants, but there is. Right? Volcanoes and forest fires, they are pollutants that we will never get away from for as long as the earth is here. Right? They're natural pollutants. No matter what, we can prevent forest fires. So remember that. You can help out in a little bit. Burning trash. I know we don't really burn that much trash here, but there is trash burning going on. And when you burn it, that black smoke that comes out, that is an example of air pollution. Burning fossil fuels. We talked about those power plants. They are very important, but there is so many cons. The big con being that when some fossil fuels are burned, they do create air pollution. Smoking cigs. Don't smoke cigs. They're bad for you. All right. Driving cars, trucks, planes, any other gas-powered vehicles, lawn mowers. It could be anything. Anything that burns gasoline creates air pollution. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Any type of fossil fuel power plants, any type of factories that you see that is producing large amounts of products. Normally, these are all fossil fuel power plants, and they contribute to major air pollution. And last but not least, CFCs. And you guys remember what CFCs are? All right, they attack the ozone. We talked about those back in September. Chlorofluorocarbons. They are an example of air pollutions because they break apart the ozone layer and they allow the UV rays to come in. All right, and then last but not least is indoor air pollution. And most people don't consider indoor air pollution as being a pollutant, but it is. All right. This is when pollutants or contaminants of the air inside of a house or a building, and the clean air is not able to flow. All right, think about those times when you have a hard time breathing because the air is smelly, or maybe something's burning in a classroom or whatever it may be, and you smell it, and maybe you cough. That is because of indoor air pollution. The best thing to do with indoor air pollution is open up those windows, open up those doors, get some fresh, clean air in. So, what can cause indoor air pollution? Well, you guys know those pesky old cigarettes. They are the number one contributor of indoor air pollution. Paints. You open up a paint, make sure that you put the top on, because if that paint, continues to, the fumes continue to go, it can make you sick. All right, dirty carpets. All right, if you have dogs or cats or other pets, a lot of times their dander gets into the carpets, their fur gets into the carpets, it makes you sneeze. That is an example of an indoor air pollution. Glue, adhesives, permanent markers. You know how they smell really bad? Well, once again, indoor air pollutants. Printers, photocopy machines. All right, a lot of times they have the printer ink is made out of a dust. And because of that dust, if that dust is released into the air, it's so fine that you probably can't even see it. But if it gets into the air, indoor air pollution. All right, carbon monoxide from heaters, gas ranges, and appliances. Most of this time, these are types of gases that are filtered out into the air. But if for some reason, there's a gas leak or a heater leak or an appliance leak, there could be some really bad gases that could leak into your house and make you sick. All right, one of those is radon. This is a natural gas and it's in the soil, but when it's released, it can make you sick. It's indoor air pollution, and it's normally found in basements because it's dug up. So a lot of times, if you have a basement, you may have gotten a radon test, and that radon test tells you how much of this natural gas is seeping out into your house. All right, and so these are your major 4 types of major pollutants that can occur, and these are all examples of each of them. All right, so what you're going to do today is you're going to take these notes, right, and you're going to complete a collage. The collage looks like this. I attached a template. And what I want you to do is I want you to add 4 pictures of each of the types of pollution. So you want 4 air pollution pictures, 4 soil pollution pictures, 4 water pollution pictures, and 4 indoor air pollution pictures. Now you can get those pictures from Google Images or from the internet somewhere. And basically what you want to do is you just want to put the 4 pictures in. Now I did a couple already. All right, I'll go to my photo library, and I did this one. We'll insert all of them. Insert. Okay, and insert those 4 photos. All right, now what I have here is I have algae blooms. Okay, oops. This is a picture. Oops, not working on me. Okay, this is a picture of an algae bloom. All right, and we talked about when the algae gets when it gets when the algae grows to super large levels, it actually turns a river green, and it takes all that oxygen out. All right, this is an example of soil pollution. It's mining. Okay, you see a bunch of trucks mining the land, creating roads, doing whatever they may be. All right, that is an example of soil pollution. All right, then we got some air pollutants here. We have car exhaust. All right, and this is an example of someone that is affected by the air pollution. And you can see in the background, how foggy it is. That's called smog, and smog is another example of indoor air pollution. Now, I didn't include any pictures of indoor air pollution, but if I was, I'd put something like smoking cigarettes or radon gases. But I'm looking for 4 pictures of each, and it shouldn't take you too long. When you're done, please submit that. Use the examples from the notes. It will help you and make your life a lot easier. All right. Any questions? Please shoot me an email or shoot me a stream. And good luck. This is due on Monday. Thanks a lot, guys.